Okay, so hello guys, welcome to SEF INDISC podcast, episode 10 with the theme Insights from a National Level University Debating Delegates. Woo! So today I'm here with...
Hi guys, I'm David.
Okay, so Kak David is a national level delegate who has represented UNSUD as an N1 debater. Ooh. Okay, so Kak David, first of all, thank you so much for coming here.
My pleasure.
And what are you busy doing right now?
Okay, so right now, I'm actually kind of busy with my final task, like my final assignments for graduation, of course, because I'm a final year student. That's first of all. And it's kind of fun. I'm also kind of busy in another thing. We're actually right now trying to kickstart a debating club in UNSUD. Since before this, we basically have no, a forum for debaters in UNSUD, right? So me and several of my friends that also been into academia in INDISC previously, we're trying to kickstart a new club. So that's what I've been quite occupied with these days.
Oh, so you said that you're occupied with trying to start a new debating club.
Yes, it's also actually within the help of SEF also. SEF is a big help for us to actually kickstart this program.
So do you have a name for this club?
Oh yeah, it's actually very new. You guys can search it on Instagram. It's Sudirman Debating Society, or SDS for example, for short.
Okay, so don't forget to follow Sudirman Debating Society, yes?
It is SDS.
Okay, so Kak David, you said that you're a final year student, right?
Yeah.
So I want to ask you a question. So when did you first start doing or fell in love with debate?
I would not say love though, because honestly, it's a lot of dynamics in the debate itself. I do not ever always love it. It's always a love and hate relationship. It's always ups and downs. But the first time I taste debate is in high school actually, 10th grade. So it's been how many years that is? I'm a third year student, so that will be 3 added by 3, so that will be 6 years ago.
6 years ago.
Yeah.
So what is that? What is the competition or
My first time is actually just a regular sparring, but then I get regular sparring and keep sparring and whatnot. How do you say it? Gimana ya bilangnya ya? Yeah, it started with a sparring. It started as a practice, but then I get forced or pushed into a competition, and started by then. You're just gaining another momentum to go, from one competition to another. You're just gaining momentum like that, and here I am today. So basically, just that. I think if you want to ask, how does it looks like?
Okay. So you start at high school. So when the first time did you start doing an English debate or Indonesian first?
Actually, I went from English to Indonesian debate, then go back to English.
Oh, yeah. I see. Okay. So I want to ask you another questions. So what is your most prestigious award that you got in debate?
Honestly, I think this year is one of my biggest achievement for myself because I get to be 7th co-best adjudicator in NUDC 2025. But before that, I also represent my province in national level previously in high school is in LDBI, if you ever heard about it, Lomba Debat Bahasa Indonesia. So that's the Indonesian's version of NUDC. NSDC, for the schools. And now I went for NUDC also.
Ooh, yeah. Okay. So let me say that Kak David has talent. Should I say talent, or do you think that you have a talent, or maybe you need to train all the time?
I wouldn't say talent. I think it's just I think it's the latter one though. How I practice all the time. I think it's very necessary to be a debater because it's not really a thing that's inherently given to you. So you really need to hone it all the time. And when you stop, it actually how do you say it? Debate is like momentum. When you stop, it usually makes you go bad again. So you really have to keep going in order to be good in it. I feel that's the case.
Okay. So most of the time, from another perspective, many people see debaters as someone who likes to yap a lot. Is it true, David?
I think from you interviewing me, you can sense that I'm a big yapper. I repeat a lot of words and I yap a lot of things. So yeah, I think that's quite kind of true.
Yappers, right? Yeah. Okay, good. Okay, now I want to ask you, let's move to NUDC, Academy. Okay, so NUDC is National University Debating Championship, and Academy is Kompetisi Debat Mahasiswa Indonesia.
Yes.
So I want to ask you questions as one of the candidates and a delegate for NUDC. I want to ask you, what are their significance at national level?
What do you mean by significance? In what sense?
Significance, you mean like the impact, maybe to the university or like to the debaters in whole?
Okay, I think I'll start to answer that by saying that debates is actually one of the things that very much prestigious for a lot of students out there. Like debating world, it seems, yeah, I think it has a lot of prestige. So for our school, for our university as the host, definitely there's a lot of prestige coming from that too. Like to host it, it's not an easy task, as maybe you guys know in SF also, because you guys are the one who's actually like being the panitia of it. I think you guys can understand that how big of a work that is. I think it's quite an achievement too for our university to actually be able to be successful in that. So I think in that sense, it's very much significant. And for the delegates, for the people itself, the ones that are doing debate, it's quite significant in the sense of it's not only a way for us to prove ourselves, like how far we've gone into debate. I think it's also to prove like how exactly the way we think, how actually our skill have to be. Yeah, there's a lot of things you can get there, like for interpersonal skill, your critical thinking skill. I think a lot of things are being proven there.
Okay. So what you're saying is it has like a pretty big impact for like the university and like the let's say the debaters in a whole. Okay. So I wanna ask you from like a debater's perspective. So what is I know that it's like a very big. It has very big impact for like our university and such. So, but like for like yours personally.
For me personally, this year's NUDC has been, how do you say it, a lot of pressures, honestly. First of all, because this is my final NUDC, I should be graduated by next year, so no more NUDC for me next year. This is my final NUDC, that's first. Second of all, because we're hosting, there's a lot of pressure to at the very least perform well. Because yeah, this is our uni, do not embarrass our uni, right? The pressure not necessarily coming from outside, see. It's also from inside, like, this is my place, we're the one who's hosting, this is my university, I should not embarrass my uni. So that's also a lot of, I think that's a lot of things that's placed into me in those moments, like to be presenting my uni in NUDC when we're hosting. There's a lot of pressure there. But also to prove myself, like I spent 6 years in debate, I better get something out of it, right? Like, yeah, but I think I get it enough and it's pretty fulfilling for me to be actually good. By the end, getting that award first of all, and second of all, like proving myself that, yeah, I can still do this. I already grow so much, and yeah, it's very satisfactory for me personally.
So it's very fulfilling and satisfactory for you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So next, I wanna ask you. So you said that you need to, as you said like earlier, you need to train a lot. So what is like your number one go-to practice methods to learn how to debate and such?
Honestly, since I'm an N1, but I think this is also applicable for the debaters. Just sparring, honestly, sparring. Sparring is your way to go. Like, mentoring is also important. Mentoring is where you actually learn the method of the debate. Like, you read a lot, you're like searching for a lot of things, like some random things, but you can do that as you go. While sparring, you actually need to learn how to debate, how to weigh, for me, as N1, how to weigh a lot of matters and whatnot. And for the debaters, maybe how to speak and whatnot. It needs a lot of practice in that sense. I think that's the most effective way. Also, the thing about debate, I don't think you can actually just keep mentoring all the time because the sense, how do you say it? Like, motions is something that is given to you 15 minutes before debate, right? So it's very much impromptu. So you really need to be prepared with any topics. You cannot really just trying to focus on just one topic and relying on that. You need to know everything. But I think that's also the benefit of being a debater, because you can actually learn about a lot of things, a lot of random things, a lot of from the most specific to the most common one. You gotta be forced to actually think about those things. Like, yeah. So that's a niche about debate that I think very much beneficial for us.
Okay. So let's move to the next question. So like you said that you're an N1 as well, right? So as an N1, what's like the hardest thing to do as an N1?
Oh, the hardest thing is when you put in the high chamber, in sense of like everyone that's debating in that room is a powerhouse debaters, like those pro debaters that doing so well. It's so hard to decide which one that I should win and which one I should lose, because the margin is usually so tight. I need to find a tipping point. Tipping point is like the point of argument that why this argument win because of this tipping point. Like, you need to find a very niche one and you need to be very careful about it, because you don't want to make any mistake. You don't want to weight something more than the other. If the other is, for example, making a mistake and whatnot, right? Like, it's not as important, for example, or it is not as urgent or as of the likelihood not enough and whatnot, like that kind of thing that you need to play around. I think that's very much tricky in a sense, like to be precise about what you're judging. I think that's the most difficult thing of being N1.
Tipping point. So tipping point, like you say, you need to be very niche about it, and you need to be very, very careful because it's very, very tricky, right?
Yeah, only when it's a power debates where everyone is so good at it, I need to find their mistake. Like, okay, I need to find which one is the less convincing because everyone is so convincing. So I used to find. So which one is the less convincing? That's a tricky one to find for me at the very least. Yeah.
So you say that you're an N1 adjudicators.
Yes.
So from my perspective, N1 or adjudicators should have like more knowledge than the person who's debating. Is it true?
Not necessarily. I think more knowledge in the sense of like you know what's really happening in the debate like as a whole, because you need to be holistic about it. Like you really need to see what's happening in a debate, but you're not allowed to baggage in. Baggage in is when you actually put your what do you call it, like personal knowledge, your personal understanding about the motions to the debate itself. So it's very much not allowed. What you need to do as an adjudicator or as an adjudicator by itself is to assess only what's happening in the debate. Like you need to see which of the teams that bring in the most convincing cases. So it's not necessarily the truest cases, but which one is bringing the most convincing one. Like from the all 4 teams that's debating in NUDC, for example. Yeah. So that's it. And the way you're actually finding this one that is more convincing, you usually need to understand the whole debate itself, like what teams the opening government brings up, and then what the opening opposition brings up, and whatnot, right? So you need to understand their dynamics first, and then you need to find that the tipping point, or what's really happening inside the argument that makes them win. That should be the tipping point. Or for example, make this team lose or make this team win. What's inside their arguments, what their matters that making their winning in the debate. That's what do you call tipping point. And that's very much important to see. But you need to also be careful with it because you're not allowed to weigh, how do you say it, like, you need to be very much accurate, you need to very much be careful about what you're weighing. You need to make sure that, this is the right tipping point and this is what makes it more convincing.
So from what I get from Kak David, to find a tipping point, you need to like understand the whole debate itself, right?
Yeah.
So you need to find the most convincing one and not the truest one. Okay. So let me ask you, an N1 and an adjudicators. What are the difference between it?
N1 adjudicators. N1, I think it just meaning that your institutions that goes into NUDC national send a representative that's called being N1. So it's N1 meaning, it's basically meaning that institutional adjudicator. That's basically what does it stands for. Well, adjudicators, it's just your role when you're debating. So you're just adjudicating, you're assessing the whole debate. You're not really debating, you're assessing the debate as an adjudicator.
Okay. So there's like a very similar tupoxy, like I should say.
I think N1 is just like a technicality, like how do you what do you call an institutional adjudicator is, but their role is adjudicator.
Adjudicators.
Yeah.
Okay, so adjudicators, their role.
Yeah.
Okay.
The judge, basically.
Judge, right? Okay, so going back to NUDC and KDMI, I want to ask Kak David as an N1, like what is the process like from the start and the preparation and then like the coachings and like the competition?
The process, I think for this year, for me personally, the process isn't that long. Honestly, it only took like 4 or 5 months, I believe. Why do I say it's not that long? Because other people are prepared for like a year or 2 years just for this kind of thing, right? But for me, it's kind of short. Like, I think 5 months ago, we held a faculty selection first. I think it's in March, early March or something like that. So before, I think it's early March. Yeah. I was actually about to go as debaters, but then I negotiate with my decan, with my dean to, you know what, I'm too old for this. If I may, I don't want to be a debaters anymore because I did last year. Can I just be the N1 instead? So by the end, I should be the debaters, but then I switched with the N1 that's supposed to be N1ing. So she is being the debaters and I'm being the N1. After that, we go to university selection. I think it's in late March or middle of March, so it's pretty thin margin, so there's not a lot of practice happening between there. But then we go to selections. After selections, after university selection, it's not stopped just that, because we still need to go to quarantine. So that's happening for around 2 months or 3 months, up to the final session of who's, by the end of the day, representing Unsut in INDISC National. So we cut from like all faculty to like 10 people, and then from these 10 people, they only choose like 3 people.
3 people
out of 10 or 7 people, I believe. Yeah. So that 3 people is me and from SEF, and we have 2 debaters all from EVA. Yeah, there's Dito and Tawang there. Yeah, so it's pretty lengthy process. After that, after we finish quarantine, I think that's around July or early July, I think. But we need to stop there for a bit because me and Tawang need to go for KKN, so basically there's no preparation for like a month. But then we restarted again in August immediately once we go back from KKN, like we're really doing practice. We like seeking for coaching and whatnot. Like I think coaching is very much important too. Like you cannot just sparring and be good just because you actually need some coaching to find someone who actually having the experience to teach you about debating, like a lot of things that they can give you. So that's what we did. We have like 6-time coaching session or 7 times, I believe. Wait, no. We have like Kak Kaisar is 3 times and Kak Chia is 4 times. So that's 7 sessions of coaching in the span of 2 months. I think it's not 2 months. No. August, September, October. Yeah, 2 months.
2 months.
October. But in between that coaching sessions, we do a lot of sparring too. We find a lot of sparring from the community, from the debating community in the nationals, because we have a group for that. We have a lot of groups for that to find sparring and whatnot. We just utilize that and sparring for like every 2 nights or 3 nights. So it's pretty intense too. So that's basically the whole sparring process. And then we have to prove ourselves and the competition itself. And what month was it? October, right? I think it's middle of October if I wasn't mistaken.
I think it's October.
Yeah, I think it's October because this is November, right? Yeah, it's November. It's last month. So the competition itself is pretty challenging. In the sense of like, yeah, it's national level. Like a lot of good debaters and good N1s are there. So you really need to compete in that. It's a very competitive area, but I will say in a good way because it really pushes you to be doing as best as you could to prove yourself. It's really the kind of environment that encourages you to actually to practice, to be concentrated on what you're doing, to give everything in the competitions. I think in a sense it's positive. But yeah, it's also very pressuring too. Because yeah, again, we're hosting, there's a lot of pressure from that and pressure from the surrounding also because everyone just being so competitive, right? There's a pressure from that too.
True.
But in overall, always challenging, it's super fun because you get to meet a lot of people from a lot of university. You're able to making a lot of friends and everyone is so smart. So so we have a lot of fun talks, even just talking and just discussing. There's a lot of fruitful discussion, even outside of the debate itself. So yeah, it's been a very fun experience. Yeah, and for me personally, there's an extra challenge since like I'm N1 and not really the debaters. So I'm actually separated from my debaters.
Yeah.
So actually being forced to mingle with a lot of strangers. I have a pressure to actually make some friends. That's actually fun for me in a way. It's challenging and fun for me too because I'm an N1 because N1 and debaters should not how do you call it? Mingle in one place when the debate actually comes in. Because of course my task is to adjudicate and I should not have any bias, right? So the debaters always go when a round start, the debater always being pushed to front and the N1's going to back. So yeah, in that moment I feel like I'm alone. I need to find some friends. I need to find some group for my own. So yeah, but then it actually pushes me to actually mingle and to make some friends. But it leads to a lot of fun experience because I get to hang out with people that I didn't know before, and they having a lot of experience, having a lot of stories of their own, and very unique individuals too. Like one of them is like fashion designers and like fashion majors, and she designed a lot of clothes, for example, or like biology majors. So yeah, there's a lot of people from different backgrounds there. So it's very fun to mingle too. Right, another thing with debaters also, I think there's a stigmatizations that debaters usually coming from FISIP, for example, I think it's in Unsut especially very apparent. Like you need to be so sum to be in debate, for example, but no, it's actually not true. Because a lot of stand people actually go to the debate.
Let's move to like the next question, like the last question. So, Kak David, as a seasoned N1 debaters and debaters as well, I want to ask, can you tell me like an encouragement or like practical advice for like new debaters or like new N1 delegates?
Honestly, just do not be afraid to talk. Because I think there's a lot of what's stopping a lot of people from debating. They're just afraid to talk. Just yap, just talk, just try it. Like for real, just try it. Because when you try it, you actually put a lot of things in, a lot of energy to that. You will by the end of the day feeling the benefit from it. Just believe me, like it shapes how you see things, it shapes how you think about a lot of stuff in your surrounding. Even it gets you to be more logical, it gets you to be more critical. So yeah, it's very beneficial for everyone. So for new people that wanting to go to debate, just try it first.
So like always try and don't be scared about anything. Like new experience, like the best thing, right, for us. Okay, so maybe that's all for today's session with Kak David. Thank you very much, Kak David, for coming here and being my guest in episode 10, SEF INDISC podcast. So maybe we're gonna see you guys in the next session. Goodbye.
Bye.